Hello. I hope you're so good. Lucy here, jumping on today to break down how you can use ChatGTP properly to create a social media plan that is fully tailored to what you do and what you are working on right now with your creative business. So, ChatGTP and AI generally is talked about a lot at the moment, and as artists, there's a lot of negative talk around what this is doing to us and our businesses and how negative it can be, but there's also a lot of positives, and this is one of them in the sense of this can really help you cut down a lot of time with your marketing, especially your planning and a lot of your copy. Now, ChatGTP can be used badly, and it can also be used in a way that you can often just tell somebody's used it and they've used it without really reviewing it and actually checking what it's written, and without giving it enough of the right information for it to give really tailored responses that allow it to create content that really is authentic to you and what you're doing and the way you speak, the way you like to talk to your people. So today I just want to show you exactly how you can give it enough information to give you a month's worth of content and actually spit out a table at the end with dates to show you how you're going to plan that content out. So this is actually really great use of this tool, and yeah, I'm going to go through this with you. This isn't prepared before. I'm just going to literally make it up on the spot and show you the kind of information and clarifications I make to, or ask it to make, in order to get the answer I'm wanting. Which is, the ultimate goal is to get a table for March that gives me at least 20 pieces of content to put out over March with dates, the type of content, whether it's a reel, a carousel, or a post, the content layout. So, what are we actually writing about, and how are we going to do this with the hook? Something that's going to entice people to stop, and some kind of a summary of the caption or the copy we're going to create for that. I won't get into the copy for each post because that's taking it another step forward, but you can easily do that as another layer to this just by taking each one and asking it to help you populate a really great post, copy for a post. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you right now how I go through this process, and you can do this step by step with ChatGTP at home as well. Okay, so here we are in my ChatGTP. This is me writing on my laptop, on my desktop. So this is, if you haven't used it before, this is what it will come up with. You can ask it anything essentially. So you can ask it anything you like. You can ask it what's the average price of bread in America. You can ask it anything, and it will pull everything it can from the web to give you the answer. But today, like I said, we're wanting to create a social media plan as easy as we can based on where you are at right now with your business. So the other day, I was talking in my Facebook community, which is called Build an Authentic Art Business. We have a community there, and I did a little demonstration on how there is kind of a way to do this that I think most people are doing, where you just ask it to create content for you as an artist, and it gives you some very generic answers. And then there's a way to give it a lot more information about where you are right now, and it gives you a lot more detail. So I'm just going to quickly kind of go through that process again one more time to show you the kind of difference in what you will receive from it based on what you are asking. So I'm going to start with an example of how I think most people are using it right now, and just not getting the most out of this tool. So, hello, I would like to create 20 pieces. All right, now I'm going to lock on pieces of social media content for my art business this month. I am a painter, and my work focuses on both on nature, specifically landscapes and birds, combined with geometric forms. So a lot of people kind of get to this point where they're like, what are you wanting it to do? You're wanting it to create social media 20 posts for you. And generally, this is what I do. And so, when you ask it to do something with this level of information, and it might be slightly different, but let's just start with this. You're going to go, you're going to get these kinds of ideas. And these aren't bad starting points, right? But it's not enough to make life that easy for you. You're kind of like, I could do a work in progress. Okay, great. That's something I could do. I could just show some snippets of me painting. Okay. So what snippets could I do? And how would I create a piece of content on Instagram for that? How would I create a reel that could work? And what kind of thing am I going to put into the reel that's going to make people stop? So there's a lot of thinking that's still involved, even though you get these kind of high level ideas, which aren't bad. There's still a lot of thinking involved, and it's not overly helpful. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to ask it something. I'm going to ask it to do the same thing, but I'm going to let it have a bit more information, a lot more information. And this is going to help two things. It's going to let them know exactly where you are at right now, what you're working on, what you're doing. It's also going to get a feel for the tone, your tone, and the way you talk about things. So it's going to then create ideas and some content that mimics more of the way you actually speak or write in your kind of authentic way. So I'm going to say thanks for this, but I am after a lot more detail. Can you please give me 20 post ideas based on the following information, which shows you exactly where I am at right now? Can you please break the ideas down into reels, carousels, and static images that can be used across Facebook and Instagram? So what I'm asking them to do is not only, okay, hold on, I'm going to give you some more information on what I'm doing right now. I'm going to ask it to really break this down into some real ideas, carousels, and static images. So these are the things that you're going to be posting across Instagram and Facebook as the main ideas. I mean, reels and carousels on Instagram are kind of the key things you want to be doing right now, but Facebook also, I think, still really works well with quite catchy, just one image of you doing work or working on something you're doing. That still seems to work very well on Facebook for me anyway, and from what I can see for others. So I'm going to ask them to do a combination of things. So what I'm going to start to say here is I'm going to give some detail of where I'm at in my business right now and what I'm doing. I'm currently starting a very large commission for a landscape that is rather exciting and challenging. I've only ever done one other large landscape, so to charge $8,000 for this one is daunting, but something I'm looking forward to creating. Okay, I'm also going to be working on a piece that I started 3 years ago. You can actually see this in the background here. It's this turtle in the background. You can see very large painting, 1.2 meter diameter, and I just haven't finished it. It's the biggest painting I've ever done, or started, because I've not finished it, and features a beautiful turtle. I'm going to be working on this alongside the large landscape, and I'm not allowing myself to start anything else until I've done these two pieces. So what you're doing is you're really telling it a story of where you're at right now. You're giving it a story, and by doing this, you're allowing it to understand where you're at, a little bit about you, a little bit about how you're seeing the things going on in your life, a little bit about the way you speak. And so all of this is going to feed into a really great answer, or much, much better answer, I can tell you that much. What else am I going to say? I'm going to say we have recently moved, so I think it's really good to incorporate things going on around your painting or around your practice, whatever you're creating. So we've recently moved cities from Tauranga to Auckland in New Zealand, which was a big deal for our family. I left a purpose-built studio behind and am now making do with using our spare room as a temporary solution. So that's where I'm at right now with this, and that's challenging and it's a little bit sad, but at the same time I've actually got a really cool space in here that I'm going to make the most of. I'm juggling my art practice with the coaching side of my business. So exactly what I'm doing here. I'm passionate about sharing everything I've learnt in the last 8 years and continue to learn alongside my painting. I'm just as passionate about this as I am about my painting practice, which is massively true. Like, I love this sort of things. In my past life in construction, I love mentoring, and that's exactly why I wanted to translate it into what I'm doing now. And final thing is, I have a very active 1-year-old and a 5-year-old who are my main priority. I juggle my business. I juggle my passions around around my girls, which can be challenging, but hugely rewarding. So really what I'm doing here, I mean, there's a lot of information. When you start to break down your life like this, and these kind of key points, you start to go, gosh, there's a lot actually you can talk about here. So I'm going to actually update this. I'm going to say, can you give me 30 post ideas? And you might not use all of these over March. But I'm going to, so essentially what I've done now is I said, can you give me more post ideas? Because I'm like, I've given you quite a lot of information. I reckon you can generate more from this. And can you break down the ideas into reels, carousels, and static images? So in other words, can you categorize them and give me a bit of format? I'm going to say that as well. It would be great if you could give me the hook and general outline format for each post. Let's ask it to do more for us. We want more from this, okay? This is about trying to spend 10 minutes of your day and go, right, how can I give it as much as possible to give me a load back? I'm currently starting on, so we start to get into the details, and then I'm going to be working on a piece I started 3 years ago. We've given us all these details, and I'm actually quite happy now to actually say go. So I'm going to say, let's roll with this and see what it spits out in comparison to the first. So it's going to think about it for a little bit because I've given it a lot of info. Okay, so it started by doing exactly what I wanted. It's breaking me down in the first category, 10 reels. And the best thing is it's giving me the hook, format, and an idea for sound. Okay, so this is obviously significantly more beneficial than just going, share something about your inspiration. Well, now we've got, specifically stuff about me and my practice and my life. I can take these ideas now and literally go, right, I'm going to create or pull out some footage. It might just be one video that's already in my camera roll, or be something I just create here in the studio this week. But I'm going to create content that works around all these. And they might not be perfect. Like, I might change them or just switch them up a little bit. But just generally looking at this, I'm pretty happy with the feel. It feels me. It feels relatively in line with who I am and what I'm doing. And I kind of feel like some of these hooks really will stop the scroll for people. The carousel. So see here, it's actually it's giving me an idea of how to get the first slide of a carousel. For those who don't know, carousels are really hot on Instagram right now. Slide 1, I think you can put up to 20 slides across. It's 20 photos that people slide through. And so this is actually giving you an idea of what your first slide's going to look like and how your following slides can add to that. Now, interestingly, it started to give me information, and it's kind of not giving me the slide info on these following ones. So what I can do is just go, look, this is great, but for ideas 14 to 20, can you give me a bit more information? You can actually ask it to do that and it will populate that info for you. And for the static posts, it's actually giving you ideas for the image and then the caption. And then, so what you need to do here, obviously, from this point is go, I'm going to populate kind of more copy, so more writing for the posts, and then figure out how I add the image. But this is obviously just breaking a lot of the barrier down in the sense of the idea. Like, this is giving you the idea written out in some pretty good detail. And it's crossing a variety of things in your life, because on social media, we forget that we're human trying to connect with humans. They want to see a little bit of you aligned, that or to be seen, that they can resonate with. So in other words, I'm a mum. If I share a little bit about the challenges of juggling my kids, it's going to resonate with mums. Now, I've decided I don't really want to be showing my children's faces in particular on social media, which I don't do really anymore, but there's no reason why I can't have a little image of my baby kind of crawling around in the background as I paint. And that's the kind of stuff that it will be able to intertwine in these ideas if you give it the information. So I'm going to say thanks so much for this. I always talk to it as if, like, have the conversation as if you were literally talking to a marketing expert who's helping you out here. These ideas, they are great. And I'm going to take it a step further here. So this is kind of where I got to the other day in our Facebook community with regards to these ideas. I'm going to take it another step forward and ask it for me to populate a plan. It would be awesome, such a Kiwi word, awesome, if you could create a table for me that outlines these ideas across 6 weeks. Please can you include dates from, let's just say, when's tomorrow? Tuesday, 4th of March. Oh, I didn't quite get that. Here we go. Tuesday, 5th of March, sorry. That's actually the 4th, I'm pretty sure. Right, so here we go. It's giving me the plan. Right, so it's given me a weekly plan here, and it's showing me 4 posts a week. So what I'm going to say, and that's kind of like, for me, actually, what I'm after here. I'm after something around, for around 4 to 5 posts. But, you know, you can tweak this. So thanks for this. Can you please increase, change the plan to include Wednesday rather than Saturday plus Monday. That's confusing. Let's just say, can we please change the plan so it's 5 pieces of content per week, excluding, I never found Saturday to be a hugely hot response rate in my post. So excluding Saturday and, I don't know, excluding Saturday and Friday. So let's post on all the other days. And it will update it for you. So it's going to pull the ideas it's taken from above. It's going to populate it for you. And you know what? Sometimes, especially if you're blocked, there's something in just surrendering to this to just get going, right? You might tweak it and go, I'm not really a huge fan of that particular idea. I'm going to swap it out with one of the other ones. But this can literally be copy and pasted into a, let's just do this right now. Well, essentially you can copy and paste it into a Google file, into a new Google document. Okay, so I'm just going to create a new spreadsheet in here. I'm going to just call it my social media. This is just my Google Drive. Social media plan, March. And what you can then do is just head back here. Where was it? And just copy this. Let's just give it a copy. copy it across, and then you're essentially going to have, might need to format a bit, not too bad. So this is, take it down. Yeah, so you've got your schedule here that's all ready to roll. Now what you can do is go back as well and just pull out as much as you want so it's all in one place. So you might go back, okay, I'm going to just copy all this great info. So I've got it here. These will save in ChatGPT once you've got an account, so you can go back and just rename it and know where it is. And just put all the content ideas in here. So what you can then do is go, right, biggest painting yet. Okay, this was the information they're suggesting I use. And then what you can even do then is add a little checklist. And this can be your accountability. Insert tick box. And all of a sudden, you've got not only a plan, but an ability to come in here and actually check it off as you go. Now remember, ChatGPT will evolve or change how it's answered you however you want it to, right? So, for example, if you don't like the way it's shown you this and you want it to show you per day, for example, you actually want to see the dates. So you can actually say, this is great, but could you show the day on the left-hand side and then outline the content, idea, hook, and caption summary in columns to the right. And what it's going to do then is kind of reformat what you're doing here. Right. And we're getting more. So what it's then doing is essentially what I would prefer to have is all the information we just copied and pasted across. That's now a bit of a formatting error here. Interesting. Sometimes this can happen, or teething issues. But essentially, this is kind of how I was hoping to have it. And what I can then do is copy that across and have the tick box to the right. But this instruction here, what I'm trying to say is that it will create whatever you want in the format of how you want it. I'm going to just see if we can I say, thanks, this is great. Can you please make sure all of the writing is within a table? It's the table disappeared after the 10th of March. Sometimes this doesn't happen and it may struggle to actually deal with this, and in which case you just kind of do what you can, and if you have to add it to your table bit by bit you do. But looking at this, it's picked up on it and it's happy. Sometimes there's a little glitch. But instead of going, oh no, that's just not worked out, why has it not done that, I'm giving up, just ask it specifically, can you just check what you've done here? This is how great this can be, is if you just keep asking it to tweak and continually evolve things as you go. So now you've got the version that you want. We can actually work that table a little bit differently in that Google spreadsheet. So I'm going to go back to where we were. Which I think was, sorry. Yeah. And I'm going to create another sheet. Sorry, I'm just going to add a sheet. And we'll call this revised table. So I'm just going to go back to this over here. chat, and I'm going to take this table with all the caption summaries. And add it here. So now we got a lot more info for us to start creating our schedule. And what we can do here is then, like I say, we can add the checklist again. I'll make this available to you all. So you can put in your, and remember, this isn't about, you know, I wouldn't recommend you take all of these ideas because, like you've seen, these were bespoke to me in my life, so that would make no sense. But take the concept of what we've gone through and take the format of the table, absolutely fine. But make sure you go through this to make it relevant to you in your work and your life, because otherwise you're kind of missing the point. So what you can then do is actually have caption details, and you could even write, you could even say image, videos, ideas, created. So you can start to build your plan from where you were. Just going to expand this table a bit. And we'll have a done. Make this the checkbox. And then once you've done that, you can then go, right, we can make some notes here as we go, like what I might do this week, as I'm going to start going, right, what image videos could I use? Am I going to use something on my camera, or do I need to create something new? So biggest painting yet, this is the biggest process landscape we've ever done. So I might start to use videos of prepping painting. So I created some videos the other day, I can use those. And then the caption details, what I do here is I actually write out the caption that I intend to put on the post. So I might actually ask ChatGPT to take it one step further and copy this caption into the chat. I'm not going to go into that now, otherwise we're going to keep going further and further down this line. As I say, you can use that to keep building on this information. And I want to make sure this is like to the point of showing you how you can make a really good plan as a starting point. But you can ask ChatGPT to expand that summary into a proper caption that you can literally put onto your post or your reel when you're ready to go. So yeah, and then once you've done, like, this is your accountability tracker, right? So this acts as both your content planner, accountability, and tracking, and you can just bounce off this and maybe go, right, at the beginning of every week, I'm going to do the first week's worth of content on a Monday, and I'm going to get that done, and I'm going to schedule it. However you like to work. But like I say, I'll make this available as a template, and you can use this and then go with ChatGPT, the process we just did, and populate it with all your personalized info. Okay, I hope you found this really useful. This really is a game changer. The more you use this, the more you'll understand how to get the best results and best feedback from it. So just keep trying, keep asking it to do different things, and you'll be amazed at what you find. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, and I will see you all soon. Bye.